Hey everybody, Tibbet Productions here, back with another video. Got my drip on, and yeah, I'm going to be previewing the 2024 season. Go ahead and jump in. Worst case scenario for UGA football in 24. Spring game's 2 days away. I'll probably make my thought video on that after that. But yeah, 2024, probably like 5 months away from now. I don't know, but somewhat August 31st against Clemson. There's some things I want to preview to, and one of them is going to be the worst case scenario. Yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, first of all, either way, I think this is going to be a good season, okay? Anyone who says Georgia's going 9-3, 8-4, 7-5, that's the only people who'd be saying that. Georgia Tech, Florida, Tennessee, Bama, those fans, okay? Georgia is winning, at least 10 games, I think. I think the worst scenario possible would be 10-2. Because, you know, there's some tough games on the schedule. Like, you look forward to, that neutral site against Clemson. That's going to be a tough one. But it should be a win. You know, because based off of what we saw of Clemson in their spring game, they're not much better than they were last year. Their offense was a total disaster. Tennessee Tech, Kentucky, on the road, I think Kentucky's going to be improved, but we'll see. Now, your two trickiest games is going to be Alabama, that game at Alabama, and Texas. They're going to be absolutely loaded. Alabama has a lot of questions. Spring game this Saturday, so we'll see how they look. But I'm excited to watch their spring game because, you know, they bring in Kalen DeBoer. That's going to be interesting to see how much better. Alabama had plenty of issues. Specifically, I want to see how well Jalen Milroe improved over the offseason. And, yeah, that's my main question mark for them. But Bryant-Denny is a tough atmosphere. And we haven't played there many times. The last time we played there was 2020, and before that it was 2007 when we beat them there. So it's going to be a while to look out for there. Then Texas, they return a lot of players on their team. They missed Adonai Mitchell and Xavier Worthy, but they return Quinn Ewers at QB, and I think he's going to be a Heisman candidate. He probably already is. Hell, I haven't even checked on those odds much, but yeah, Quinn Ewers is going to be a big Heisman voting favorite. So we'll see how that pans out. But those are going to be your two toughest games. Your worst case scenario is you lose both. I think we should win one. Maybe that game against Alabama would be easier to win than at Texas because, you know, I think Texas is slightly a better team than Alabama right now, but we'll see. But your worst case scenario right now would be to lose those two games to Texas and Alabama, be 10-2. I mean, your worst case scenario would be to not make the playoffs, but hey, I think even if UGA lost 3 games, which is highly unlikely, then, you know, we'd still get in the playoffs, but I don't see us losing 3 games. The third toughest road game we got is that one against Ole Miss in November or whenever it is. Ole Miss is going to be loaded, top 10 team, but we don't know how good they'll be by the time this game is played, but we'll see. Lane Kiffin's really got it rolling over there. So those are your 3 toughest games. I think we're going to win that game at Ole Miss. I don't know. We'll see how good Ole Miss will be. But, yeah, that's probably your worst case scenario is to lose 2 or 3 of those games. But your worst would probably be to lose 3, but it'd still be pretty bad if you lose 2. But I think we'll be probably 11-1 this season. That's my prediction, but we'll see. Our team letting us down, it's not as likely as you think it is. Guys, this is a solid team. I'm excited to see him play on G-Day. Carson Beck returning. The defense. Now, the defense is going to be pretty solid, I think. You know, we had some slip-ups like that game against South Carolina where the receivers were wide open. We had a hard time against Bama. But overall, our defense is still good. Maybe it's not as good as it was in 21, but it's still pretty damn good. I'll tell you that. Our offensive line, we couldn't block shit in some games last year, specifically against UT Martin and Ball State and South Carolina and UAB. But hey, and Auburn. But hey, those were early season games. We got it together, playing our best football, especially against like Ole Miss and Tennessee. We had that thrilling win at Missouri, and Missouri not on the road, but at home. And Missouri was a really good team. So our offensive line did improve throughout the season, I believe. Yeah, and some key pickups out of the transfer portal. So this team is absolutely loaded. And I'm excited to see him play. But the worst case scenario is to lose those 2 games. But another bad scenario is you win more of those games, or we lose one of those games we're not supposed to. Like, you could lose that road game to Kentucky. You know, you could somehow slip up against Tennessee. Florida, highly unlikely. You know, those are going to be some games. But if we were going to slip up in one of those, it'd be that Kentucky game. We don't know how good Tennessee will be this year, but I think that they're going to be a lot improved, but we'll see. But worst case scenario for UGA in 2024 would be, I think, 9-3 or 10-2. But yeah, you'd still make the playoffs either way. But yeah, that is my worst case scenario for my dogs for 24. And yeah, see you guys.